Today's postcard is from the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution in Shropshire, Coalbrookdale and Ironbridge. Look, they even do Ironbridge Rock. I wonder if you can get your teeth around that. Now let's cross over again to the River Severn. That bus is going to Wellington, which is the famous Wellington School in Shropshire. And Mr. Telford gave his name to the new town, which comprises of a number of old Shropshire villages: Wellington, Oakengate, Storley, Madeley, Roseley. They've all come into that Telford United conurbation. Now this is what caught my eye when I came along. On the other side of the river, these little cottages here on the other side, and they remind me of the Coalport cottages that I actually have at home. And of course, Coalport is one of the finest china factories in the country. I don't know about you, but when I think of Shropshire, I think of England's, well, one of England's most rural counties. I mean, the Shropshire Lad, a famous poem. And yet, we have proof there, those smoking chimneys, of Shropshire's incredible industrial past. I mean, a lot of people would think the Industrial Revolution began in a place like Lancashire, say, or Yorkshire, the north of England, but it was here, in this rural county, by perception. And when you look around you and see that over there, mingling with all of this down here, then it does make you think, doesn't it? Incredible that this was the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution. Now, there looks to be twigs growing out of the top of that firing kiln there, Ruth.
Yes.
And that's what it was, wasn't it?
That was a bottle oven, yes. That's where all the pots were fired once they'd been made.
Where did Coalport come from? I mean, I know we're in Coalport, but I mean, how was it founded? Where did it all begin?
Well, it actually began just a little bit up the River Severn from here at Carfley. And the gentleman who formed this factory in 1796 served his apprenticeship there, came down the River Severn and formed these works.
So it could have been Carfley rather than Coalport?
It could have been Carfley. No, I mean, that's an antecedent to this factory.
Right. But Coalport, was there actually a port here then called Coalport, or was it actually founded on the basis that he came and set up his work? And we've got a load of coal there, for instance.
We have indeed.
Is that how it got its name?
It is. There was nothing here when John Rose arrived, and we have a lovely report by William Reynolds, who came here, and Telford came here, and they said nothing existed until William Reynolds came and set up Coalport, brought the canal, brought the housing, lots of industry to this area. and then the name was attached to it.
So it's now become Coalport. Just run us through all of these buildings that we can see here, which is obviously part of the original works, presumably.
Absolutely. We're now standing in what was the heart of the Coalport factory. They obviously have different uses today, but originally we have the Saga makers to my left, where the boxes were made in which the items are fired. We've got an archaeology room, we've got a pottery here where people are throwing and producing pots. And obviously we have the two imposing bottle kilns.
And is that what they were originally for, the pottery workshop there?
That was a biscuit scouring room where once the kilns had been emptied they were brought into that workshop and women were employed to remove any blemishes or bits that were on them.
Well, seconds, so to speak. They could have become otherwise, could they?
They could certainly otherwise.
If those women hadn't got rid of the blemishes.
Absolutely.
And what about that building in front of the big kiln there?
Well, the ground floor of that was a handle placing room. So that was devoted entirely to the putting on of handles onto cups, presumably, mainly cups. They also had some decorating taking place on the top floor, so the windows are where painters would have worked.
Joe, they look scrumptious, they really do. But why are they world famous?
They're world famous because of our secret recipe, and they're hand raised.
What does that mean?
They're actually like hand raised.
Oh, they're like modelled, like clay.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want us to cut one open for you?
Yeah,
Show
let's
you
have a look inside one. So they're hand raised, which makes them like children.
Yeah.
Little babies, all of them. It's nothing like one of those pork pies you would get, you know, sort of wrapped in cellophane. It's really meaty, chunks of meat in there, and a totally different flavour to what you'd normally get.
It's like a spicy, isn't it? It's got a real
like
flavour to it,
and,
yeah.
And spicy and sort of quite hot in a kind of peppery way.
Yeah.